sure you could still, like, put ROMs in there, but I have an appreciation for anything that, like, revisits the hardware. It's a horror game. No, I wouldn't pay attention to that. That's true, Gopper. We will also have to take a look at whatever garbage you sent me. You sent me that rat game, didn't you? The hell is it called? Rat Shaker? You sick bastard. So we'll have to take a look at Rat Shaker. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There's only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. No, Tom sent me the Ratvolution game. It's been a string of abusive game sends. Whatever happened to that Ratvolution? We'll get in there at some point. We'll get in there. A game that Ponty described as being terrible. Ponty went through the whole game, and Ponty's like, there's no reason for anyone to ever play that game. And then, like, literally, less than an hour after her telling me that, Tom sent me the game. It's like, oh no. How's the volume? At the moment it sounds just fine, but that probably means it's gonna be a little too loud. Because it's very quiet music. Let's, maybe do that. You're not respecting the Ratvolution? You're right. But Gopper sent me a game about just squeezing and shaking a rat? Yeah, we'll figure out a time that works, Bex. You'll be easy to figure out. The tricky one is still Little Crow. Little Crow's in Australia, which means trying to figure out good overlap time for her game is hard. They always show up as like a fun surprise. I'm like, oh, sweet. But we'll figure it out. Alright. Let us slay a princess. Chapter 1. The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
He sounds a little bit like Ewan McGregor, just a little bit. Just like a smidge.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Yeah, but what's the world done for me lately? Explore. The end of the world? What are you talking about? We consider that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though. Can't someone else do this? Forget it, I'm not doing it. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? There we go.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
This guy narrates a anthology horror podcast called The Magnus Archives. Really? He has a good voice for it.
I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Have you seen The World, narrator? Anyway, what are you talking about? How's she gonna end the world?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people.
I don't know, that part sounds pretty nice.
You have to put an end to her.
Please, the narrator. Do you have any evidence to back this up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
I mean, I've got to go to the end of my journey. I just don't know if I'm going to kill anyone when I get there. What's going on, Just a Tip? MacLeod. Yes. You got a big update? Oh. Anything good? Silently continue, turn around, and leave. I mean, this strikes me as the kind of game where there's a lot of different endings.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
No, you just dropped me in the middle of the forest. Alright, fine. I'm gonna go to the cabin. I might slay her, I might not. We'll see what happens.
I guess we will. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Why should I believe you, though? Like, what what have you given me to make me trust you? You're gonna pick it up today? I can't remember. That one might have a demo if you're looking to try it before you buy it.
We're not gonna go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Who's he? Well, no, I want more questions. Walk in, killer, consider the game gun. Oh, yeah, like speedrun. Just go quick.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
That's a pretty nice blade. Pretty pristine.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
It's the name of the game, after all. Enter the basement. Leaving the knife behind.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Well, I don't know, narrator. You're trying to make me want to kill her.
Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Who is this hero?
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
I had covered up the S with my thumb. Ahaha. Badumsh. Oh yeah, I don't have to make badumsh. There we go. Hi!
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
I see the basement's built to hold 2 princesses. This is inefficient only having 1 down here. We should really try and, like, max out Princess Hold'em.
She's beautiful.
We should Princess Max.
How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Slay the princes. I'll see what I can do.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making
you got
a
it.
huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug.
No, those are chains, all right.
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Has she ever seen the movie 127 Hours, though? You gotta check upstairs. Maybe the key's still lying around somewhere up there. And if not, maybe I could at least find someone to break you free.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
That's a callback from Mud, yeah.
Is someone else here?
Hey! Let me out!
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Yeah, but, like, the knife is upstairs.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
What's she been eating? How's she going to the bathroom? I mean, you answered both your questions in the same... Oh, I was right there. Return to the bottom of the stairs.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
Well, open the door and I can go get it.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Who is this they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth,
She's doing it.
her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her.
Yeah, voice of the hero.
Like what happens if you do that?
Hey, I learned by doing. Save the princess.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place.
I mean, I appear to be some kind of monster.
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't.
Not her first rodeo of cutting off her own arm.
She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Yeah, screw these guys, I'm on her side.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
I appear to be some kind of lizard man. Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world.
You're a narrator, you're not real.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Run!
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Hey, it's the narrator's
Your
fault for not
body
explaining.
lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
Take the knife, lady.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
Probably about to get stabbed.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
Yep, there we go.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay
It hurts.
strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
Ow.
I'm sorry.
Aim better.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
It's cool. It's alright.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you.
At least she
your
feels
limbs
bad about it.
unresponsive.
Oh yeah, the raffle.
The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks.
Hey.
It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
But does the world end? Chapter 2. The Damsel.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Getting a terrible sense of deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't
This time
approve
she's
of us
armed with a
last
knife.
time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
Me and the princess are in love.
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
Wait, there's a peck in the cheek for him? Oh man.
What can
I'm
I
in.
say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
There's more than just deja vu. I'm pretty sure this whole thing has literally just happened.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. You were the one who did us in, villain.
Villain?
Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I
We
wonder
could just
why.
leave.
Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price. I beg to differ. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Hot damn, physical
What do you
affection.
mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
Probably cool stuff.
Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme.
I like this man is definitely channeling a little Matt Berry energy. I appreciate that.
Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
The Smith specifically. Let's talk about this princess.
Just be quick about it.
The only reason she was even able to kill me last time is because I let her. She could barely hold a knife. How's she gonna end the world?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world.
Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is.
Speedrun world ending. Who locked her in the basement? What is this place?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special.
I'm the chosen
You're
one.
the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Calling us special isn't going to make us friends, even if it did feel nice.
Very nice.
Oh, believe me, the last thing I want is for you and I to be friends. But I'm a professional, and I'm not going to let my dislike for you get in the way of helping you save the world.
Well, you dislike me? I'm not doing nothing now. You're being awfully cagey. What aren't you telling
I've
me?
told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Oh, that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna save the princess.
That's right, you can't stop all of us. We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does.
Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with? You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call.
Let's go.
A warning before you go any further.
Go on.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
You said that last time. That didn't do nothing for
We
me.
already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My
I do.
passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Proceed into the cab.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate
They
wooden
cleaned up
table
the joint a little
with
bit.
a pristine blade perched on its edge.
This is not what the cabin looked like from the outside. We got like these little stone portholes.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Didn't say anything about that mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here.
In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
I want to see how handsome I am. Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone.
You rubbed the whole mirror
Pity.
off.
We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
This whole cabin's different than last time.
Very different.
Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
I'll show you, I'll die exactly the same
So
way.
focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted.
This time I'll take
You
the blade with me.
blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally dashing sword. That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies.
Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge, and hopefully it doesn't get turned on us again.
What's going on there, Dragon? Slay the Princess is an excellent game. I'm enjoying it so far. It's pretty good so far.
There's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job.
I'll need it to free the princess, I think you mean. Call you
The door to
Cyber,
the
you got it.
basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight.
It's a much nicer basement this
But it's
time
still a
around.
stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
So fancy.
A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice, it's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning.
And then we'll get married.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
That can't be right.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
How's there a window? This is a basement.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
Well, I'll still say those words.
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
But house on a hill, though. Yeah, but if, like... We already know, when we saw the cabin, it was like a wooden cabin. Now that we're inside, it's made of stone, so, like, it's not adhering to reality anyway. Could be pointing at the bottom of the hill? Possibly.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
Hella dashing.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
Incontrovertible.
That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time.
You're right.
Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
Killed me last time, it hurt a lot. Why'd you do that? What happened after I died? Did you end the world after you killed me back there? I'm sorry about what happened last time. A narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She understands.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent.
An almost unsettling extent, actually.
That's because she's perfect.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
Violence? What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
But before we started talking, did the world end? Did you end it?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
I got no strong feelings one way or the other. The world sucks. People are a plague, and I hope you brought a slow and painful ruin to them all.
I can't believe that the fate of the entire world has been left in the hands of a misanthrope.
Well, you should have screened. It's like, oh, we gotta get someone to kill the princess. Get that guy. You screen. You screen your people.
Lucky for you, I did destroy the world. I destroyed all of it and made it awful for everyone.
Ah, sweet. She did it.
I'd point out that she just admitted to obliterating the entire world, but I guess that wouldn't actually move you. Oh, it moves me. Whatever we do next, we should do our best to not let her out. But have you seen her angelic face? She should get a pass. She just wanted to make us happy.
This is a princess that's very susceptible to reverse psychology. Like, yeah, I wanted the world to end. Oh, I ended the world. It's like, oh, you see, we got you. Got you in the line.
By destroying the world? Apparently, yes.
Yes. Do I have to cut you out again? I didn't care for that last time.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
So dainty.
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
Rescue the princess. Well, actually, you know what? That hurt when you killed me. Why'd you do that?
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone.
She did what she had to do.
She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
Alright, manipulate me.
No. I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? Yes. Not on my watch, villain.
Villain?
My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
You've known some people like the Smitten?
You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed.
I'm a velociraptor.
I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh.
Say nothing, walk in, stab south. There you go. What's going on, Grim?
Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is saved.
Ah, screw those people.
Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you try it. You're going to regret this.
What do we do now?
What do you want to do?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
The new Gloom missions? Not yet, but I hope too soon. I played against the new Predator variants, but I assume the Gloom stuff happened after the Predator stuff. Was it yesterday it like popped into the game?
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world?
36 hours? So yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Better wait for me before you Gloom. I mean, either tomorrow night or Friday night. One of those two for sure.
You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Oh god, it's my hell. I don't know what you want to do. I don't know what you want to do. Where should we go for dinner? I don't know, anywhere's fine. Where you want to go for dinner? I don't know, anywhere's fine. I want you to tell me what you want. I just want to leave. We can figure it out later.
That sounds perfect.
As the princess takes your hand in hers, you let your blade tumble uselessly to the floor, and with it tumbles the last hope for the entire world.
Is there a PlayStation nearby we can turn on?
We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
Happy ending.
I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs?
You want to go paint some minis?
Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh,
Go out the window in the
Did
basement.
someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love.
Use your love to break down the door.
Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice.
Nah, he's in charge. I'm listening to him.
I'm just along for the ride at this point.
I think we can open it if we try together.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable.
Our love is massive.
You and the princess make your way upstairs. Her freedom and the world's ruin are just a few moments away. If you don't mind, I'm going to fix myself a drink before you ruin everything. If I'm about to see the end of the world, I'd rather not see it sober. You know, if her walking out that door is really going to end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone. That's not how this works.
It's called a plunging neckline.
Yes, what he said. That's not how this works. Obviously, we have to leave with her. It's our happy ending.
All right, man, we're leaving. All we need to be happy is each other. What if we just stayed here and built a life together?
What a romantic suggestion. You're right. We don't need the world. All we need is each other. That's exactly what I just suggested. Was it not romantic when I suggested?
Nah, not quite. You need the flair.
Did you suggest that? I wasn't listening. You answered me.
But the door's right there. We can just leave.
Wait. Why would she say that? Was she not wooed by our proclamation of love? Are we not enough for her? She's not wooed by you because staying here and building a life together isn't a solution. It isn't anything. It's a non-answer. It can't be done.
All right, narrator's like, we should just leave the house and end the world. You're right. We're leaving.
Okay. That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside.
A happy ending at last.
Love will set you free.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go?
Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
Oh, she hugged herself. You don't get the chance to make that jacket. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
The narrator's gone.
He is. Does that mean the world ended?
A villain vanquished.
I don't know where she went. I don't know how we're even gonna go about looking for her.
Right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing.
I can't believe she was taken away from us.
The nerve.
The nerve. I think I'm supposed to look in that mirror.
There's something dreadful about it.
I don't think you should. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right? I'm begging you, don't do this.
Oh, it's the only thing here. You approach the mirror. Gaze in the reflection. As you reach forward, they're gone. But the mirror remains. Time you to see what's in it. It's you! Gomez Adams has entered the chat. Should we eat the world, darling? Bathe in the blood of the innocent? Wouldn't that be warm and comforting? We don't need to waffle back and forth over restaurant choices if there are no restaurants. You're alone in a place that is empty. It's quiet here. Too quiet. Quiet. Too quiet. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Is this the end of the world? Let her out of there!
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Wow, now that you said that, I don't know anymore. You fed her to an eldritch abomination. Solitary lights, what do you mean? What do you think I am?
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
What's the gift of a fragile vessel?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
Is this the end of the world? Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known.
Cool.
The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you, like, always the princess? Are you, like, just making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
I mean, sometimes. Do you know about the worlds beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
Do we know each other?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
So, what happens now?
Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
He's right outside. When I go to the bathroom, there should be a strong demarcation between me and the poop. Like, I want to know where I start and the
Bring
poop
me
stops.
more perspectives, so that I may be whole. And perhaps then we will know our freedom.
More perspectives, you got it. How many more pieces of you do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Okay. I was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're gonna do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being semantic. What are you gonna do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Okay, make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything was dark and he'd die.